The Golden Bachelorette's Chock Chapple reveals if Joan Vassos' trip to his hometown was a success amid relationship red flags. January 2, 2025. Hello, Bachelor Nation news fans. Welcome back to the channel. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1's winning pick Chock Chapple finally got Joan Vassos back to his home state of Kansas for the new year, and he's sharing more about whether the trip brought them closer together or tore them apart. Throughout the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, Joan and Chock's love story wasn't always something that resonated with Bachelor Nation. While many wanted to see Joan find genuine happiness, they weren't certain about Chock being in the picture. Regardless, Joan choosing Chock and accepting his proposal has ushered the couple into a new phase of their lives, which they shared online. The Golden Bachelorette's Joan Vassos heads to Kansas to spend time with Chock Chapple. In a recent Instagram post recapping their New Year's celebration, Chock shared that he finally had the chance to bring Joan back to Kansas after visiting her in Maryland for Thanksgiving and Christmas. "It's been a fun few days showing at Joan_Vassos around Wichita," Chock explained, along with several photos of himself and Joan visiting some local spots with friends. The golden couple has been spending a lot of time with her family and friends in Maryland, so the change has been beneficial to their relationship, as Joan has been getting to know what Chock's life back at home is like. What Joan Vassos finally traveling to Kansas means for relationship. As Joan and Chock have moved through their relationship, things have been getting more intense for the couple the further they get from the Golden Bachelorette. While Joan has been focusing on bringing Chock into her family, the majority of their time has been spent in her home state, surrounded by her friends and family. Throughout the holiday season, the couple has been doing more together, but they haven't been spending time in Chock's neck of the woods or exploring his turf together. Having promised to do so during the Golden Bachelorette finale, it's good to see Joan in Kansas. While Joan and Chock took their time getting back to his home state, it was clear that they both wanted to hold up their end of the deal surrounding their time post-show being spent in both of their homes. Joan's time in Kansas is something the pair has been discussing for months, and to see it finally come to fruition means that they're serious about their long-term plans. Going between Kansas and Maryland for now, Joan and Chock seem to be sticking to their plan to eventually settle in New York this year, making themselves accessible to their families. Our take on Joan Vassos' trip to Chock's hometown. Although Joan and Chock have spent a lot of time in her hometown, knowing that she's been genuine about wanting to go to his hometown and get to know his life there is sweet. Joan, who's been working hard to find someone throughout the last few years after her husband's passing, has finally found someone she feels confident enough with to invest in. As she gets to know Chock's home state and looks forward to the future, Joan's getting the opportunity to make new memories after the Golden Bachelorette with a look at Joan's experience in Kansas. From all appearances, Joan embraced her Kansas adventure with enthusiasm. According to Chock's social media updates, the couple spent their days exploring Wichita's hidden gems and evenings enjoying low-key gatherings with Chock's close-knit group of friends. Joan reportedly charmed everyone she met, impressing them with her warmth and wit. One standout moment from the trip was a visit to Chock's childhood home. Joan was introduced to his family, including his sister, who has been a vocal supporter of their relationship. Joan fits right in, Chock's sister wrote in a comment on his post. "We're so happy to finally meet her." The trip also included a visit to the Kansas Aviation Museum, where Chock shared stories of his late father, a former pilot. Joan, whose late husband's memory remains a significant part of her life, reportedly connected deeply with Chock over their shared experiences of loss and resilience. Red flags, fans weigh in. Despite the seemingly successful trip, some fans remain skeptical about Joan and Chock's long-term compatibility. Social media has been abuzz with commentary, with many pointing out potential red flags. Cultural differences. Joan's life in Maryland is centered around a fast-paced suburban environment, while Chock's Kansas roots reflect a slower rural lifestyle. Fans worry that these differences might create tension as the novelty of their romance wears off. Communication gaps. During the Golden Bachelorette reunion special, Chock admitted that he sometimes struggles to express his emotions, a trait that Joan acknowledged as a challenge for her. "I'm someone who likes to talk things out," Joan said. "Chock is more of a thinker. It's something we're working on." Family priorities. While Joan's focus on family is admirable, some fans have questioned whether Chock feels overshadowed by her dedication to her children and grandchildren. His desire to start fresh in New York could be at odds with Joan's preference for staying close to her family in Maryland. Chock addresses the concerns. In a candid Q&A session on his Instagram stories, Chock addressed some of the fan concerns. When asked about the cultural differences between Kansas and Maryland, he admitted, "It's definitely an adjustment, but I think it's one we're both willing to make." Joan has been amazing about trying new things and stepping out of her comfort zone. As for the communication gaps, Chock was optimistic. "Joan and I are learning a lot about each other every day. We're not perfect, but we're committed to figuring it out together." Joan's take on the trip. Joan, who has been quieter on social media, posted a single photo from the trip, a selfie of her and Chock standing in front of a Kansas sunset. "New year, new adventures," she captioned the post. Fans flooded the comments with questions about her experience, to which she replied, "Kansas has been wonderful, and so has Chock. Looking forward to what's next for us." What's next for Joan and Chock? With the Kansas trip behind them, Joan and Chock are reportedly gearing up for their next big step, moving to New York. The couple's decision to relocate was driven by a desire to create a neutral space that allows them both to stay connected to their families while building a life together. However, fans are divided on whether this move will strengthen their bond or add more stress to their relationship. Some worry that the fast-paced lifestyle of New York City might overwhelm Chock, while others believe the fresh start will give the couple the foundation they need to thrive. Our take. Joan and Chock's love story has been anything but conventional, and that's part of what makes it so compelling. While the Kansas trip appears to have been a success, it's clear that their relationship is still a work in progress. Both Joan and Chock have shown a willingness to adapt and grow, which bodes well for their future. Whether they ultimately make it as a couple remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, their journey is far from over. As they continue to navigate the complexities of blending their lives, fans will be watching closely, rooting for them every step of the way. Stay tuned for more updates on Joan and Chock, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest on the Golden Bachelorette. What do you think about Joan's trip to Kansas? Let us know in the comments below.